At 42 years of age, Rodney Roller is training for one of the biggest challenges of his life. An on-again, off-again bodybuilder for many years, Rodney wants to turn pro. His objective is to win his class and then win the overall title in the over 40 segment of the 2010 North Americans being held in Cleveland, Ohio. It will not be easy. For the next 4 months, he's going to have to take his body to new levels of pain and deprivation than he has ever experienced, all the while balancing his dedication to his training with his duties as a spokesman for Xero Limits, his job as a roving reporter for musculardevelopment.com, and his devotion to his family. What began as a simple publicity stunt for a Xero Limits mass building program has morphed into something else entirely. Rodney Raw Power Roller is going to push his body to be bigger, harder, and drier than it has ever been. And along the way will test the limits of his endurance, both physically and mentally. The origins of Rodney's quest for a pro card began with a challenge and a promise from his sponsoring company Xero Limits. Though he is a popular bodybuilder and massively strong, he's never been able to get as big as he wanted to be. The Xero Limits researchers introduced Rodney to a new project called the Human Underground Growth Experiment, or HUGE for short. HUGE is a program of supplementation that combines 2 new products that allow you to consume more food and mass-building calories, yet still be able to digest it quickly in order to maintain the eating schedule that massive muscle growth requires. Engorge uses a revolutionary technology that stimulates your appetite so you can pack in more food and bigger meals throughout the day. Huge Mass is a calorie-dense, enzyme-packed, bioefficient weight gainer that lets you load in 675 calories per shake to maintain incredible anabolic growth. After only 10 weeks on the HUGE project, Rodney packed on 21 pounds with this 1-2 punch combination. It was this success that inspired him to continue with the HUGE regimen and attempt to achieve his ultimate goal of turning pro. To get big, you have to eat big, and the Xero Limits line of products can help you do that. Save $25 on the Huge Mass and Engorge stack by ordering right now on getxl.com. You too can be part of the Human Underground Growth Experiment and get huge. Just go to getxl.com today and take the HUGE challenge. On a quiet little side street hides one of the best-kept secrets in Brooklyn. Some of the greatest bodybuilding talent of the past few years has passed through this private basement gym. This is the home of the high-profile bodybuilding trainer, Oscar Arden. Evan Centopani, Desmond Miller, Kevin English, and of course Kai Green have all been here training under Oscar's practiced gaze. I know Oscar from my work with him on my Kai Green DVD series. A former competitive bodybuilder himself, Oscar is an unusually dedicated trainer with a very personal touch. I know from experience that he feels very strongly about the power of the mind as it pertains to bodybuilding, and I'm curious to see if he will apply these principles to Rodney's training. To be trained by Oscar is a dream come true for an amateur bodybuilder, but it's also going to be a challenge. Rodney and his workout partner Brian May are about to learn a new way of pushing themselves beyond their limits.
Okay, take 2 minutes, catch your breath, and we'll start supersetting. 1, control the weight. 2, up, 3.
Rodney enjoys testing the limits of his strength, but in order to be the best bodybuilder he can be, he must be willing to try something new.
There you go. Up, squeeze it. Nice negative. Let's go 3 more. Come on, Ron. 1 more. Nice negative. Good, man. Good, man.
Oscar's plan for him is a series of high-volume supersets. He bounces the athletes back and forth between 2 exercises with no break.
Let's breathe. 4.
A routine like this can test the heart and stamina of even the most dedicated and experienced bodybuilder.
9, 10. Keep going. 11. Come on. Go, Rod, come on.
The training for this show was probably different than he's done in the past. It was very intense, but the weight wasn't as heavy. We try to overload the muscle with a little more higher reps and more volume than just heavy weight and low reps. You know, it's a difference between being a powerlifter and being a bodybuilder. You know, and even though I do believe you gotta have some heavy weight, it's not all about heavy weight. It's about conditioning and about using the weight as a tool to develop your physique.
The sponsoring company for this training is Xero Limits. They run a bulk-up program called the Huge Mass Project. Rodney's training partner, Brian May, was one of the first participants. Over the course of 8 weeks, he gained a startling 22 pounds on the Xero Limits program. Brian's here to support Rodney, but as Rodney adds the North American Championships to his objectives and alters his training, I wonder if Brian realizes what's in store for him today.
Very challenging for me because I'm used to a certain weight being on the bar and not even thinking twice about it and, you know, just banging it out. Whereas when you start getting into those 20 rep sets, I mean, it's much tougher. It's a different type of pain. It's extremely painful when you're breaking down and the lactic acid builds up and you're breaking down that muscle fascia and it's very painful to train that way.
Good, good. Keep going. Come on, right? Nice negative. Up. Keep going. Up. Squeeze. Nice contraction. 2.
I see why now how Kai, you see the intensity he's going through. You say, well, he's only got 315 on the bar. Why is he so grunting and making faces? And you know why? You know, the guy's got legs like a freaking cow, and he's fatiguing on 315. You know, anyone has doubt about it, come over here, pay Oscar $5,000 a day to train legs, and you'll see why.
You know, you find a lot of people put, 6 plates or 7 plates and do half reps. But doing deep for 20 reps, it works your glutes, hamstrings, quads. It takes your legs to another level of development. And it pushes you here a lot more. It's easier to put a lot of weight, do 2 or 3 or 4 reps. But when you get to 15 and 16, you want to stop. That's where your mental intensity and toughness comes from.
That's the difference. You know, I train hard, intense all the time, but if someone's there saying, no, do 5 more, it's a little different. That's tough, you know. You look at that, and I mean, that's usually like my warm-up. It's a gut check, you know. You start looking at that weight. All right, this is nothing. And then when you get to the 8th, 10th rep, and your legs are on fire, and you're like, holy shit. What's wrong with me? Am I sick? Or I got the flu?
I try to make sure that we did the movement stricter and more higher reps, and he felt it right away. He felt a difference in his muscles, and he liked it. But it's still, in the back of his mind, he has that power in him to use that. So it's important to incorporate some basic movements with him, but still keep the intensity of the higher reps, because that's what he needs. Get him ready for a show to bring out the extra detail and density.
Squeeze it! Come on.
That's it, come on, don't fail, come on.
The guys must search deep within themselves to push through a brutal training session like this. Each person has his own method of finding inner strength.
Everyone thinks of meditation as being some type of girly thing and what you do is sitting on a mat, quiet and peaceful. But as a bodybuilder, you learn how to channel it.
I call it washing your brain, just washing your mind, and just pulling a curtain over your eyes, and you're just a blank. If the music is blasting in the gym, you hear nothing, just dead noise.
You put yourself in a different realm, and then you just go. You get your breathing down, and once you get that down, you're just ready to go.
I envision the little man on my shoulder saying, "You're done. You're not getting another set." And if you see me rambling sometimes when I'm training, I'm talking to that person. I'm not talking to myself. I put that person there to visualize that energy towards and anger towards that you're not going to do it. I'm talking to the little green guy on my shoulder, and it reminds me of is Gazoo from the Flintstones. That's kind of what I picture him as. Is this little guy on my shoulder, and he's saying, "That's too heavy. You're not going to get 8 reps." And I'll just start going, and I'm just rambling. I say, "I'm going to get a person challenging you." When someone challenges you, that's what makes you try for harder.
Lower the weight, 120 reps.
It's washing my brain out, all thoughts. I have no other thought in my mind but moving the bar.
Good job, man. You guys finished legs today. And you're still standing,
Somewhat.
sitting, kneeling. I was going to say still standing, but almost. You guys are good, man. Good job. You're about to go through a big transformation. This is the first week. I know I'm pushing you hard, but I also know you can handle it. I'm never going to ask you to do, guys, something that you can't handle. I'm not going to put 600 pounds on the squat right now. In time, you will be able to do it. Right now, it's the first week back. It's the first week training for this goal. So it's a good that you have a good training session and feel good, but kind of gauge where you are with your strengths and your size.
When I got to that 15th one, I said, "There's no way I'm getting another one." You just separate your mind from your body and just go. I don't know how I got it. I don't even remember doing it now.
Although this style of training is unusual for him, today Rodney feels strong. His bodybuilding diet has just begun. The rigors of his prep have not yet begun to wear on him. That will come soon. For now, he continues to push the weight and visualize his goal. In 4 months, he will take the stage in Cleveland against top competitors from all over the USA, Canada, and South America. And it all begins right here, with cold metal and determination.
Home. Where are you, Dad? Kids don't give a crap if you're a bodybuilder, if you're famous. All they care about is the time you're spending with them.